Hold on one second. Good morning, Senate Agriculture. Running a little bit behind today. We had some trainings. We're going to start our day. It's January 30th, Thursday. We're going to start with Farm Service Agency of Vermont, Lana Walden. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Lana Walden. I'm the Deputy State Executive Director for the Farm Service Agency. And just a little bit of background about myself. I grew up in Arkansas on a 300-acre cattle ranch, and I went to the University of Arkansas. I moved to Vermont in 1996, and I have worked for the Farm Service Agency for the last 27 years. I am, at the moment, the acting state executive director until that position is filled, appointed by the president. And I'm not sure how familiar everyone here is with what the mission of the agency is, so I'll just give you a little bit of background there. I did give a handout on a rundown of a few of the programs that we have available. However, that's previous to the last 2018 Farm Bill, so a lot has changed since then. And we also have ad hoc programs that get rolled out just about every year. So the Farm Service Agency seeks to support American farmers through a variety of programs enacted through the Farm Bills and other legislation. And those programs mainly fall into three categories: price support, conservation, and disaster. We're also the lender of first opportunities for many farmers, providing loans for farm ownership, operating loans, and emergency and youth loans with direct funding and guaranteed funding through local preferred vendors. In Vermont, we have 9 county offices that serve all 14 counties, and the state office, which is in Colchester. We currently have 41 permanent employees statewide, and Vermont has oversight of the lending activity both in Vermont and New Hampshire. So just a little bit of what we've been up to for the past year. We just finished up in December a very successful rollout of an ad hoc program that was called the Marketing Assistance for Specialty Crops, providing financial assistance to specialty crop producers, which includes maple producers, to help expand domestic markets. We have barely finished up taking applications and processing those, so we have not paid out all of the dollars yet, but we expect that to be in the neighborhood of about 1.38 million across the state. Another major program that we typically run from the 2018 Farm Bill is the Dairy Margin Coverage Program, DMC. In 2023, so that program depends upon the price of milk, so the amount that we pay out. In 2023, we paid out $28.4 million, and in 2024, it was only $800,000. So the other major program that we have run for the last few years, unfortunately, is the Emergency Conservation Program, which helps to clean up after disasters. So the last 2 years of flooding and windstorms, winter storms that we've had. In 2024, we paid out $4.1 million. That would have included, it takes a while to get all of the paperwork because you have to have your documentation to show what you paid out to in order to get the payments. So the payments that of 4.1 million would have included probably 2023 disasters. And then in 2023, prior to that, we only paid out 1.8 million. But it is a fairly big program for us.
And that's just Vermont?
Just Vermont, yes. And the other one I wanted to point out is our organic dairy marketing assistance program. In 2023, we paid out 1.5 million, and last year it was just at 2 million. So the grand total of all of our programs in 2024 to Vermont farmers was $3.9 million. I mentioned loans earlier. In Vermont, the current direct loan caseload is $47.5 million with 302 unique borrowers. And our current guaranteed loan caseload is $17.9 million with 215 unique borrowers. So that is the gist of what I wanted to get across. I have other, if you have any questions about other programs that we have, I can certainly give you information about those. Any questions about the agency itself?
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Solana, welcome. The Farm Bill every 10 years, is that on the federal level? I think 2014 was the last.
2018 was the last.
Okay.
I think it's every 8 years, but
Okay.
I'm not certain.
And as far as I remember, Senator Welch is still on the Ag Committee.
Yes.
So he would be a valuable resource here. You mentioned the dairy margin program, and I know, I think it was last year, maybe it was the year before, Vermont had sort of its own version of that, where we granted a certain amount of money that dairy farmers could purchase, in essence, some insurance, depending on where the federal milk order went up or down, and then we would cover the gap, so to speak. Is that something that from the USDA's perspective worked pretty well, and did it work in concert with what you folks do?
Yes, I believe. So I was not in this position at that time, but it was my understanding that we used state dollars to reimburse farmers for their premiums to participate in the DMC.
Yeah.
So that was really useful. It was really helpful to get people covered who otherwise may not have signed up.
I don't know whether it was oversubscribed, but I remember we had to kind of move a little bit of money to make it even, so to speak, that it wasn't running at a deficit. So hopefully, and I don't know where the hundredweight price is right now, but
I'm not sure either. I know
$20, $21, something like that maybe. And the organic always has a tendency to be a little bit higher because they get a better price for their product. So
yes.
Okay. Everybody good?
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Oh,
I wasn't quite sure what else you would like me to
Okay.
speak about, but
I'll have one more question. And on the farmer loans, are they mainly dairy, or is it a good mixture of?
that is a good question. I think it's a pretty good mix, but I would say the vast majority of loans take place in the dairy counties, in Franklin County and in Orleans County. So yeah, it's probably the majority is dairy. Operating loans just to get from year to year.
Now, and these are loans that are grants, or are just guaranteed that they go through a bank and the USDA just is?
Well, that's a really good question, because up until now, I think in February 20th, we have had a deferral on payments. So there have been no accelerations to foreclose or anything like that on all of our loans. Due to, I think it started as a change to during the pandemic. And then, during the entire Biden administration, we had a program called it was as a result of the Inflation Reduction Act that basically paid off loans for a good majority of our producers nationwide. I don't have numbers about how many of the farmers in Vermont were paid out, but it was based upon your status as a minority producer, I do believe, or a socially disadvantaged producer. And so as of February 20th, that goes away. Well, the program is done anyway, but we'll begin taking payments again.
So they were only forgiven for these the loan's still there, they were just forgiven the amount for the 4 years or 6 years, whatever.
Yeah, but it essentially means that a lot of the loans have been paid out. So I'm sorry, I didn't even think of bringing information about that. But in the last couple of years, people have been very hesitant to take out loans due to the economy and inflation and just uncertainty in the market. So we have a drop in our loans at the moment. And so unfortunately, we're expecting a delinquency rate to rise as a result of this change that's coming.
And when they are delinquent, and how does the state, USDA foreclose, do they?
There is a process, there's due process, it's pretty extensive, but it begins with accelerating the loan, which means that they would give a demand letter for a certain amount of time to get the loan current, and then if it goes past that, then they begin the process of foreclosing.
Who was in your position before you were? I'm trying to connect the
John
face.
Roberts,
Yeah, okay,
yes, and before that, it was Wendy Wilson.
okay, yep.
Did you ask to be appointed?
No, I did not. I'm not sure I would have been even if I'd asked. Don't have quite the political connections.
Neither do we.
All good?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming in, and we apologize for being a little bit late.
It's okay, hopefully I got you back on track.
And you have. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
great day.
Yes, you too.
Okay, committee, unless Linda tells us something different, we can break till 11.